பட போச்சே.
ஹாய்டா. ஹலோ துபாயா? ஏன்டா அந்த சவுண்ட் எஃபெக்ட் போதாதுன்னு நீயும் சவுண்ட் கொடுத்துருக்கியாடா?
இல்லடா, போன வாரத்துல ஐ திங்க் பாஸ்ட் 2 வீக்ஸா இல்ல 3 வீக்ஸா இந்த மியூசிக் பாட் வந்ததுல இருந்து இதே ப்ளே பண்ணி எவனாச்சும் வேலை இடத்துல பேசினா கூட இதே மைண்ட்ல ஓடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. என்னால முடியல.
இல்லையா, முடிதான் நிறைய இருக்கடா.
உன் மூஞ்ச பாரு, காட்டு முராண்டி மாதிரி வாய முடியா
மம்பட்டியாண்டா. எனிவேஸ், வெல்கம் பேக் டு another episode of வட போச்சே. ஸோ இதை கேட்குற நேயர்கள் வந்து ஐ ஹோப் யூ ஆல் ஹேட் அ குட் வீக். யூனோ வி போன வாரம் ஒரு எபிசோட் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணோம், கமலா ஹாரிஸ் அண்ட் அதர் இந்தியன்ஸ் who broke boundaries. And you know, it was quite, you know, fascinating, you know, reading about them. SPB பற்றி படிச்சப்ப and A.R. ரஹ்மான் பற்றி படிச்சப்ப, you know, it was quite nice and it was quite fun. Yeah. However, this week we actually have an interesting guest this week. அவங்க வேற யாரும் இல்லை. She's the writer, founder of Indians of Singapore, Stacy, Tanya, Shamini. Hi, Stacy.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam. So, Stacy,
Hi,
how are you doing today?
I am good, thank you. How are you guys?
It is going well.
It is.
It depends on how many air horn sounds come up today. Oh, yo.
ஸ்டேசி, இதோட நீங்க வந்து ஜென்மத்துக்கு பார்க்கலன்னா நம்ம தான் கொண்டுட்டோம்னு அர்த்தம்.
No, okay. நானே கொண்டு போட்டுருவேன்.
Thank you.
I like this.
I like it.
Start music.
So, Stacy, you know, before we actually talk about Indians of Singapore and, you know, interesting topics, உங்களை பத்தி ஒரு interesting fact. Can you tell us one interesting fact about you for நேயர்கள்?
I actually did not study writing or media or anything like that. I did engineering in poly and I did psychology in university. So இதெல்லாம் நடக்கிறது ரொம்ப யதார்த்தமா நடக்கிறது.
So basically polyல வந்து நீங்க ஒரு engineer.
Yeah, unfortunately.
யூனில வந்து நீங்க ஒரு psychology படிச்சீங்க.
Yeah.
And now you're in the media field.
Yes, correct.
How do you apply things that you've learned from there in the media field?
Okay, engineering is a complete no-go. There is absolutely nothing I can apply to that. But for psychology, I think it's very interesting because when you write characters and when you meet people and all, I think psychology is something that helps anybody every day. So I think, you know, it's a study of humans, right? So for me right now, I'm in the media, so I write characters. I build people from scratch. So when you build people like that, you need to have a certain understanding of the kind of psyche that humans possess and the kind of thoughts, the flaws and the good aspects of them as well. So that kind of thing, psychology really, really helps with that.
So it's sort of like you understand people better?
Definitely. I think psychology, you know, when you study it, I think your empathy kind of naturally increases, and that's something that everybody needs a little more in this world. So that is something that psychology really gave me lah.
ஓ, அப்ப நான் பரஃப் உங்ககிட்ட சைக்காலஜி லெசன் கண்டப்பலாமா? அப்பப்ப மூளை இல்லாத மாதிரி நடந்துக்கிறேன்.
அதனால psychology படிச்சேன்னு சொன்னா I didn't do magic, okay? I can't.
Whoa. Hey, come on man.
இதுல என்ன தெரியுதுன்னா பரஃப்
Very good. Within first 5 minutes வரைக்கும் மரியாதை போச்சு. டேய், மரியாதை எந்த கடையில விக்குது? அது சொல்லாத, வாங்க மாட்டேன் கண்டிப்பா. பட் எனிவே,
அது மட்டும் இல்ல, ஸ்டேசி கொஞ்சம் என்ஜினியரிங்க்கு நோகோன்னு ஒரு பெரிய I feel you. அத நானும் என்ஜினியரிங் படிச்சுட்டு என்ஜினியரா தான் வேலை பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Oh, yeah, that's something that could have been in another life. I'm glad I didn't go.
I'm glad you are not in this sector.
Yeah, he every day telling us he doing some drawing or some cat
AutoCAD.
AutoCAD. என்னமோ பூனையை வரைஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கான்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பான்.
ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா புனே வரைஞ்சிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன்னு சொல்றேன்.
Yes. So actually, out of curiosity, what made you jump from engineering to psychology?
Engineering was something that happened not by choice. I think it happened a bit more out of fear of doing anything that I actually really wanted to do. A bit of coercion from my mom, of course. So it's that typical route, lah, you know. And I mean, I've always been good at math, so I thought, okay, lah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, it was pretty bad. But so but I had to pass it, lah. Dropping out was not an option for me. It's never an option. So I just got through it, and then I went on to my degree again. The media wasn't something that I was encouraged to pursue because it's seen as unstable. It is seen as a volatile industry. It is seen as a place which is toxic, things like that. And so, you know, I was just never encouraged to pursue that. And I think sometimes without a proper push, it's very difficult for you to want to follow your dreams also. So I didn't lah. And so the next best thing I found was psychology because I know there's a lot of reading and writing involved. And that is something that I've always had an affinity to. So psychology seemed like the most viable, economically friendly option as well. So that's where I ended up. That was, of course, much better for me. But after psychology, I actually ended up being jobless for a year-ish, more than a year, actually. போகாத இன்டர்வியூல அப்ளை பண்ணாத ஃபாரம் இல்லை nothing like that. I did everything that could possibly be done, and I completely failed. That is where iOS was born, actually, but we'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking about iOS, right? How do you actually come up with the idea for iOS?
So I was actually, as I told you, okay, so I was jobless, right? And I was just day by day, months by month. You see, 1 month you didn't find a job, okay, no big deal. 2 months, okay, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. It gets worse and worse and worse, and it's a slippery slope. You know, at some point you find yourself regretting every morsel of food that you put in your mouth that your parents provide you with. You're like, நான் என்ன பண்ணிட்டேன்னு இந்த சோறு சாப்பிட்றேன், and that is the worst feeling ever. And I experienced that, and I felt really, really terrible about it. But so one day, iOS was honestly a spur of the moment thing. I didn't plan for it. I didn't decide to want to do this for a while. Nothing like that. I wanted to write. You know, after a while, I stopped applying for psychology, and somehow I started applying for writing jobs. But nothing was coming my way. And why would they? I have no qualifications, no portfolio to show for it. So I thought, you know, I wanted to write, and I follow a travel logger called Drew Binsky very closely. He goes all around the world and he makes videos of people. But his mission is to travel to every single country in this world. And he's almost done. So I've been following him for a few years. And one day, you know, I was just lying in bed feeling like shit. I had a good cry. And after a good cry, I was like, you know, looking through my social media. And then his video popped up. And I was thinking, actually, why do we not have something like this in Singapore, for our Indian community? Then I went to immediately at 2 a.m. I went to go and search. I found a Humans of Bombay. I found a Humans of New York. Of course, that's where I started from. I found a Humans of Singapore that was rather inactive at that point. But then there wasn't this.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow at 2 a.m., I woke up very early the next morning. I quickly went to go and chope the domain, because I was very afraid that in that few hours, somebody would think of it. So I went to get the domain, and that's how it started. When I started it, I just, you know, wanted to profile everyday Indians amongst us. Nobody very prolific and all, because I thought, you know, who's going to come. I started off some friends, people that I knew around me who were doing important things that needed to be talked about. And from there, it seriously just took a life of its own lah.
So, நீங்க address பண்ண storyலே, like you say, you're talking about, you started writing about your friends. அப்படியே you started maturing. So, இதோட எத்தனை கதை எழுதியிருப்பீங்க? ஒரு like I think you would have.
No, I actually count every single one of it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm putting out another story. I think if I'm not wrong, it will be my 48th story.
48, number 48.
Yeah, 48.
So, can you probably share a story that connected with you personally? A story
Okay.
that really, இப்ப அந்த story கேட்டா கூட
So I've said this in several platforms. For me, I'll tell you one first. For me, when I featured Shabir, that was my personal milestone. And I've said this before in previous interviews, but it really was my personal milestone. That one for me, it really felt like I made it. I've been seeing this personality since I was a kid. And for me to grow up and then for him to come and approach me, it really felt like I made it in that moment. And then another one that really was very close to my heart was Sumita Nair. She was the mom that was struggling to conceive for a while, and the way the society looked at her, the way they were like, the names they called her, things like that. And that story was very, very, very difficult as a woman to read and write. And you see, when I get my interviewees, most of them not everybody I have time to meet, and not everybody I can meet due to COVID. So I get voice notes from them, and when you are speaking to your phone alone, you sometimes get carried away. You don't realize that you're speaking in an interview. You need to be prim proper. No, because it's just you and your phone. You get carried away, and sometimes the pain in their voice, things like that. It's very jolting, I would say. It's something lah. And let's see who else. I really like that couple. There's this old couple that I did. Their story is one of the best doing stories. Like statistically, their story did very, very well. Yeah, stories like that are very close to my heart. But of course, I remember and I know every single one of these stories by heart. My recent one was C. Gunalan. That was incredible. I met him in person at a coffee house, and we just sat and we spoke for like 4 hours. And I, of course, couldn't put everything out there, but the things that I could put and all, it was very legendary. I really, never thought that it would take a life like that.
Fun fact, I know C. Kunalan personally.
Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, when I did his story, it did so well because so many people have been taught by him.
Yeah.
So many people have been trained by him, and it's not just Indians, a lot of them who shared my story were Chinese.
Yeah.
And they really, really like him.
Because I was part of the Singapore Track and Field team.
I see.
So that's how I know Kunalan. So yeah, he's a very, very nice guy.
He is. Yeah. He's so funny. And he's just so full of life. And at that age, having gone through whatever he has, it's the kind of stories that we need to bring to people.
He mentioned about his watch, right?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
The
watch story is like told every time, always.
Yeah, the watch thing, and like his wife and the kind of opposition they faced when they first got to know each other. And at that time, can you imagine interracial marriages? They're still frowned upon today. And at that time, he was just like, no, I want my wife. And then he very cutely said, he said, Ray, I cannot remember the wife's name, but it was a Chinese or an English name. He said her name became Rajeswari. And I will never forget that moment.
நீங்க ஒரு story before we actually went on air, you asked how did we actually find you?
Yes.
So actually I came across your story.
My story.
Article number 15 if I'm not wrong.
15, yes.
If I'm
that
not
was
wrong.
Done. You're right. It was done 31st December 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
So what really got me interested in that is the one line you actually put, which I thought was, இவங்க கொஞ்சம் இதை டிஃப்ரெண்டாக பண்ணுறாங்களே, addressing difficult topics and the taboo topics. Because this is something where நம்ம community-ல வந்து I think it's still a taboo. It's like, you don't really வெளிப்படையாக இதை பற்றி பேசுறது இல்லை, it's still a hush-hush in that sense, I would say. What inspired you to actually bring out that story? அதை பற்றி focus பண்ணலாமே, why do you take that path?
Okay, so அந்த கதையில, when you said you saw my story, right? அந்த கதையில நீ பார்த்திருந்தீங்கன்னா, there will be one part where I say, there are many times in my life that I could not control my narrative, so I would like to give other people a chance to control theirs. that is a big part of why I decided to talk about things like LGBTQ things. You see, okay, in our community in general, a lot more topics are taboo than in the Western or other like abroad societies, right? For us, everything is like controversial. Plus size, women rights in general, LGBTQ. You have your unconventional jobs. So many things are taboo. Versus overseas, it could just be like one or two things, right? So that is something that I wanted to talk about. As a person, I've always been very open and very honest. I think, of course, that has gotten me to trouble many, many times. But that is who I am as a person. And I thought, if I was going to create a publication, a platform, it needs to be that. I do not want to be tiptoeing around things. I don't want to be sugarcoating and kind of moody, mariche, talking about certain things that need to be talked about. So that is something that's why I didn't want to do it. Who I am as a person is who iOS is as a platform.
No, speaking of like taboo topics and bringing up taboo topics, right? Recently வந்து ஒரு தமிழ் படம் வெளிய வந்திருக்கு. I think early last year or mid last year. தாராள பிரபு.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I have, yes.
Loved it. So one, like for me from a personal standpoint, அந்த படத்தை பார்க்கும்போது I was quite I love the movie for number one, and I love the song. So but the thing that stood out to me most about the movie was the topics that they were covering, like sperm donation, infertility, second marriages, and things like that. And I like the fact that number Tamil cinema is actually, people are being brave enough to tackle these topics on the mainstream media in a sort of a mass scale movie. Like having Vivek and all that in the movie showed that they're trying to actually do something with the film and get good reach for it. So I was very particularly impressed with the boldness of tackling these themes. So what do you think about that movie and their approach to the content?
So Darala Prabhu was done after Vicky Donor, which was originally a Hindi movie, right? So I think Hindi, Bollywood recently, they are a bit like, they're quite brave, They have done Ek Ladki To Dekha To Aisa Laga, which is a lesbian movie. It's about two chicks who fall in love. And then they have Darala Prabhu, which is, Vicky Donor. And then they do, like nowadays, they are doing very artsy stuff and all. And I love it. Now, in Tamil cinema, I think we have miles and miles and miles to go. Seriously, I think we do. You put out a movie like Darala Prabhu. Okay, I mean, it was shot well, it was done well and all of that. Okay. But so one movie out of 10,000 movies is really not enough. Our Tamil scene, Hollywood, is very, very misogynistic. It is very shallow, and for like, it doesn't need to be, but like somehow they just find a way to make it that way. And I have a very, very big problem with that. I understand the mass thing. I'm a huge Vijay fan. I get it. I remember what he said in Sivagasi about Ninga urla sleeveless, enga urla bra. I remember. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I get it. But I think, times are changing now. And I really think that we have to change with it, because like, we see the kind of atrocities that's happening in India. And I think for some reason, Indian people are heavily, heavily influenced by movies. Very, very, very much so. So I think because of that, we have a huge responsibility to kind of make sure we are putting out the right thing. I'm not trying to be a creativity police here, but I just think, if you're going to show stuff like that, you need to be able to resolve it properly and not just leave it hanging and be like, this is okay, this is how men behave, this is how men treat women, and that's it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, show it, but resolve it. And that's something that Darala Prabhu did very well. Infertility, sperm counts, sexuality, things like that. I have all of these stories on iOS, by the way, and it's important, right? These things, somehow infertility, people in the Indian community, people seem to find infertility like worse than cancer, worse than anything in any disease. It's not a disease. It's just a thing. People have conditions.
That's the first question everybody asks, right?
Yeah, புள்ள இல்லையா? Yeah, புள்ள எப்போ வருது? I'm like,
போடா, பால் மாவு எவ்வளவு தெரியுமா? டைப்பர்ஸ் எவ்வளவு தெரியுமா? I mean, whether I know, how I know is a different question.
அதுதான் எல்லாருக்கும் தெரிஞ்ச விஷயமாச்சே. நீ தான் உலக முழுக்கான தாராள பிரபு ஆச்சே.
Oh God.
But no, it's fucking expensive. It's bloody fucking expensive.
$70 a tin.
I know one of my cousin was complaining about the price. Then, during the COVID season, he was telling that he couldn't get, because people were like, at that moment, the queue was too long because of the social distancing. And he was like, he literally was scratching his head very badly. He's like, I need to queue. I got work and it's expensive. And he's like damn stressed out.
Actually, that reminds me, during COVID, I actually started a Facebook page, group, not page, iOS COVID support group. That group did so much of good things, and I cannot take credit for that at all, because it was like the members, right, of the group. We had a lot of prolific people from the community in that group, and like help was being offered, and people like, if you need pale, if you need food, if you need somebody to watch over your kids while they do the home-based learning, things like that, please, contact us. And they're all, it's not like scam or whatever, these are all people that have been there in the community and you know who they are. And, so many people were coming forward and offering these things. And isn't that what iOS is about? It's forcing people. I say forcing because everybody has it in them. You just need to push it for it to come out. That's it.
So, actually, நீங்க இப்ப சொன்னதுல இருந்து I actually visualize this. You created Indians of Singapore, the story platform,
right.
At 2 a.m., woke up the next morning and created it.
Choked it, ran for my life to Instagram to choke
it. 1.5 years, 2 years later?
1.5.
1.5 years. You started actually a iOS relief group and the help group.
So அது வந்து last year, I think was March. And then March. I closed it after phase 2 like that. I closed it because the direction was going off. But yeah, March to I think August, September, around there.
So there was actually like, and so in a way it's like actually you sort of like branch it out in a way where it helps people in that
Absolutely,
sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
So another point of iOS, you see, yes, it is people stories. But then another part of iOS is I've always had this vision of wanting to create, and go with me, it's going to sound a bit abstract. Sure. I've always wanted a vision where I create a yellow pages of Indian people. So I literally catalog the Indian people in our community. So if one day you are like, oh, I need a plumber, you go onto iOS, there's a plumber there. Or one day you're like, okay, I'm feeling rich, I want to help somebody. You go onto iOS, you have like 1 million people to help. So that is the kind of community that I'm trying to build. It's a lot of work. It's it won't happen now also, but we are always, with every story we take one step forward.
That's a long-term vision.
Definitely, yeah. It's not something that you achieve overnight lah.
So, iOS, this is your, I would say the product that you made, that you actually built the base, cement, bricks, everything. Moving forward to 2021. Recently, நீங்க இப்ப சொன்னீங்க வந்து இப்ப நீங்க ஒரு assistant director. You're taking that path.
Yeah.
அதை பத்தி கொஞ்சம் சொல்ல முடியுமா?
So I basically work with Stardust Story right now. Stardust Stories have brought you the likes of CID Sagundala, Janani, daughter of Mahadevan. So yeah, so these dramas. I've always, as a child, I was a very good actor. I took drama for O levels. I have acted in Vetri in Vasantham. So I've always had a feel for this, but as I told you, I was never confident enough to pursue it. Not because of like imagery or outlook, because of financial reasons, because of like stability, things like that. So I've never had that leeway, that silver spoon where I can just do whatever I want to do. So yeah, I've always wanted to write it, and then I got this opportunity, So I joined Stardust Story as a writer, and we're currently working on a quite a gargantuan project. Actually, it's a huge project. So we wrote that along with my boss, and then now I am going to be the AD. We move into production in February. And yeah, I think you'll be able to see it on screens in mid-March.
Definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's a period drama.
Oh, okay.
And it's a 4-part series, a period piece. And a period is the most challenging thing I've ever had to do. Can you imagine, from your talamudi to your phone to your light to your every single thing has to be curated to that generation. So it's a huge challenge, and I'm very, very fortunate and lucky, and I guess I don't know what the word is here, but I'm working with K. Rajagopal, who is my director, and he is a bloody legend. And to be his AD on my first outing is very intimidating, and but I am embracing it and I am figuring it out along the way. But I'm very, very grateful.
Now that you've entered assistant directorship, right? From a professional standpoint, you're learning different things, like you said, curating your artifacts, your props, and everything, and and learning from one of the most experienced directors. From camera, like move பண்றது, in the angle, people management. You're learning so many of these things, right? In the standpoint இருந்து பார்த்தா, what do you think is, like, from solely professional standpoint, what do you think are some of the best movies or TV shows that have been directed?
Okay, wow. That's a hell of a question. Good job. But okay, this one is very subjective. I want to put that out first.
Yeah.
Because, it depends on genre and all of that. Right off the top of my head, you want Tamil?
Anything.
Let's do Tamil first. Okay, I think let's do Tamil first. Let's do a very recent one, which was a huge hype. Okay, let's do Power Kadagal. I thought Power Kadagal was brilliant, apart from the second one, which is Vignesh. What's his name? Nayanthara's boyfriend.
No.
Vignesh Sivan. He's the Nanu Rowdy Dan fella, right?
Is he?
The director.
தெரியலையே.
Okay, never mind. You're like clueless.
நானும் ரவுடி தானா சொன்னா நம்மலாம் ரவுடி தான்.
விஜய் சேதுபதி தான்.
அதுதான் நம்மளுக்கெல்லாம் தெரியும்.
Oh God, okay.
இந்த கட்டத்துல முதல்ல ஜவர் வந்து sorry.
No, நீங்க சொல்லுங்க, ஜவர் பத்தி நம்ம கேட்கலாம்.
இல்ல,
ஜவர் வந்து நானும் ரவுடி தான் சொன்னால.
அவன் அப்படியே கொந்தளிச்சிட்டான் கொஞ்ச நேரத்துல.
கொய்யால
வைடா
காத்தடிச்சா பறக்குறான் காதடி.
He's the track and field fellow, don't disturb him.
டேய் பறக்குறதா அவன் வேலை.
At least நான் ரோல் பண்ணலல.
ஸ்டேசி நீங்க என்னமோ சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தீங்களே.
ஸ்டேசி நீங்க சொன்னீங்களே, நீங்க அவசரமா எந்திரிச்சு ஓடி லேப்டாப்லாம் டொமைன்லாம் கிடைச்சிங்கண்டி, அதே இஃபெக்ட்ல பர்ஃப் ஓடுவான். ஆனா எண்ட் ப்ராடக்ட் தான் தப்பா இருக்கும் அப்போதான்.
Like, for some context here, gravity has extra pull on Barf.
The minute he starts running.
See, even he starts running, right, doing, you will go down.
No, actually, அது வந்து நம்ம அப்புறம் வருவோம். ஸ்டேசி முதல்ல அந்த அவங்க ஒப்பீனியன் சொல்லட்டும். What nonsense.
Okay, so I'm looking at Power Kadagal, the episode 2, and Love Panna Vitrano.
Yes, Love Panna Vitrano.
That is my favorite, actually.
That one. Yeah. I really hated that one.
Some controversy going on here.
I'll tell you why. Because that one felt like queer baiting to me. It's a thing. Queer baiting. You can go Google it. It's like you set up an LGBTQ team just for you to break it like that. And that's exactly what they did in the movie. And I really didn't like that. Like, they made you think that there's a this and a that. In the name of a twist, they just broke the thing. So I really didn't like that. It felt to me like lazy and sloppy storytelling, which I hate. I absolutely hate.
Oh,
okay. I
actually,
got a bit triggered there.
Actually,
I don't know why I got so triggered.
No. Actually, after you say that, right, I am seeing it in a different angle. Because நான் முதல் தடவை பார்க்கும்போது I was very focused. Like, because நம்ம எல்லாரும் the focus என்னன்னா, if they tell the truth, they will die.
Correct. So அந்த
focusல இருக்கனால we actually don't see it in another point of view.
So நீங்க பார்க்கும்போது, what do you see? You see, wow, the twist damn power. You think, I didn't even expect this. So yes, I get that, and that is a very like first layer surface viewing thing. But when I look at films, and I'm not saying like I'm some hot shot thing or whatever. No, it's just that from young, the first thing that I gravitate towards is the writing. From a young thing, because I love writing. So from young, I gravitate towards that. And so when I saw that, I was like, y'all took the easy way out. For me, it felt like the easy way out. And in the name of delivering a twist, they just butchered the film, I felt. But the first, third, and fourth was so good. I really felt like Indian cinema turned the corner with that. But I don't fully believe that, because this is a Netflix film. Because it's a Netflix film, these people are backed with money that no producer in India is going to give them to make films like that. Nobody is going to give it to them. But Netflix will, because, that is the whole thing. They're embracing the woke culture. They are making like 2021 their thing. They say, now you can put as a film, we will buy it. The crazier, the better. So what does that do? You get people like really invigorated with their creativity, right? So that's what it has done. So you give these top-notch directors, Gautam Menon, Sudha Kongra, and what's the other one?
Simran?
Okay, one of them. Sorry?
Simran was one of the...
Simran லடா டைரக்டர் சொல்றேன்.
டைரக்டரா? நான் ஆக்டரை யோசிச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
வெற்றிமாறன்.
நீங்க கௌதம் மேனன் சொன்னோனே I went to that.
Then he went straight to Simran.
Yes, because that show, that temple scene was so nerve-wrecking.
Like Bhairav said, இவனுக்கு பறக்கிறது தான் வேலை. So straight from director, he went to cast ready.
So I really thought that was brilliant. Series-wise, my favorite series of all time is Grey's Anatomy. It's been running for about 16 years now, and I watch Grey's Anatomy literally every single day. Literally every single day. For me, it just feels like coming home after a long hard day. It feels like you're coming home, and the familiarity, and that is really the victory of the cast, the writing, the direction, and all of that. Grey's Anatomy is like an institution. People who follow it will follow it till they die. Those who never experienced it just never like. And it's of course not for everybody. But yeah, Grey's Anatomy is one of my favorite series. Now, with such a long form series, there will be writing lapses. There were and are writing lapses in the thing. There are cast lapses. There are a lot of lapses now, okay? Because 16 years, it's very hard to, maintain something for 16 years. Your direction changes, things and that. But everything, all things considered, Grey's Anatomy is one of the best series ever made.
So, I have a very interesting question here. To me, it's interesting.
அத மத்தவங்க சொல்லணும்.
To me it's interesting.
That's the thing.
No, don't. No.
Yes. என்னைய 3 தனுஷ் மாதிரி ஆக்கிட்டான்.
சரா. You see, நீங்க முதல்ல சொன்னீங்க Netflix it's really pumping in money, என்ன படம் வேணாலும். So Netflix, an OTT platform. And recently Master also came out in cinema. It was released on an OTT platform.
Yes.
And நீங்க ஒரு தீவிர விஜய் ரசிகர்.
Yes, I went for the first day for show. Thank you very much. I told work, I'll be like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'll be late. And then I went to watch.
I like that commitment for Vijay.
So, என் கேள்வி என்னன்னா, with the rise of OTT platforms, is there going to be a huge change on, how we view Tamil cinema? The content which is put out.
Okay, for us, yes. Us in Singapore, Malaysia, UK, US, wherever. The rest of the world, yes. For us, OTT, Tamil content on OTT will make a lot of difference. However, I don't think OTT is the best thing in the world for India itself. Because there are many people in many different small villages, small towns and stuff that don't have access to Netflix monthly subscription or Amazon Prime monthly subscription and all. That is the reason that India will never favor that
OTTs.
mode of release just yet, at least for the next 20-30 years. It's not going to happen. How are you going to give them a credit card and expect them to have like this monthly subscription? It's not going to happen. What? And that's why these like small theaters, small screens, just one screen cinemas are very, very valuable for people in India like that. And that's why, that's where the first day, first show, the Abhishekam, the this and that, all of that comes from there. It's that the reverence, the fervor of which these people go and watch it. Okay. Now, having said that, a lot of people, without the proper education and exposure, you will not be able to understand or appreciate a lot of this content on OTT platforms, such as, for example, Pava Kadegal. The first one, you look at Kader, that boy, right? He is essentially transitioning to becoming a she, and then the whole village goes after him, who then becomes a her. Now, there are a lot of people in India who follow the school of thought, even here, in fact, all over the world, that the people who went after Kader was right. A lot of people follow that school of thought. So how are they going to appreciate a film like that? It doesn't permeate through their ideologies. So that is what I feel about these racy, more out there content. But for the most part, I think, us, our generation, the generation after us, things like that, I think for them, it's very, very refreshing. For me, it's very refreshing. I love it. Master coming out on Prime is wonderful. I've already watched it twice. Just, don't ask any more about that. It's very accessible. That scene was so funny.
That is the best scene, man. I thought the ostrich scene was the best.
Ostrich is damn funny. Oh my god, burst out laughing. But Master was okay only lah.
No, for me the best thing about the Master movie was the Kabaddi scene.
Oh, hands down. I was screaming in the theater.
Actually, அந்த சீன்ல பரத் வந்து கபடி ஆடி இருந்தா இன்னும் நல்லா இருந்திருக்கும். ஒரே நேரத்துல எல்லாரும் அவுட் ஆயிருப்பாங்க ரோல் பண்ண விதத்துல.
Maybe the BGM would have saved Bharat lah.
கபடி ஆடி நீங்க எல்லாம் பார்த்தது இல்ல.
அதுதான் வேணாங்கறோம்.
ஏன்னா நான் ஆடுனதே இல்ல அந்த மாதிரி.
இப்ப நான் இன்னும் ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டாகணும். கொஞ்சம் முன்ன யுவா சொன்னேன். நீங்க வந்து கேமரா ஆங்கிள்லாம் வச்சு you can bring the best angle of someone. அந்த விதத்துல பார்த்தா பரஃபோட பெஸ்ட் ஆங்கிள் என்ன இருக்கும்?
குட் ஆங்கிள்.
ஒரு சின்ன out of topic.
Okay, you see, I'm just starting out, being like
ஒரு கேள்விய
இவருக்கு வந்து மணிரத்னம் needs to come. அங்க போட்டு லைட்டிங் போட்டு இத போட்டு then only கொஞ்சம் you can try
அப்புறமேல you look like பட்டாணி.
இல்லடா அந்த விக்ரம் ஐஸ்வர்யா ராய் என்னமோ ஒரு படம் ராவணன்
ரியாக்ஷன் கொடுக்க கூட முடியலடா சிரிப்பு வந்துட்டு.
எல்லா ஸ்டமக் ஃபயர்ஸ்
எனக்கு தாண்டா உசுறு போகுது.
I think Stacy இதோல
நான் நடுவுல மாட்டிட்டேன்.
Exactly. நான் உடனே Okay, Stacy, before all, எனக்கு ஒரு இந்த நம்ம பாட்காஸ்ட் ஆரம்பிக்க முன்னாடி there was this special topic, I think very close to all our hearts as one. Football. கார்பந்து பிகிலே
அப்போ முக்கியம் பிகிலே.
better than Messi and Ronaldo da.
Yes.
Anyways,
see that every single goal in the film was a bicycle. Every single one. And the keeper cannot just tap or what, has to dive to the other end, to the top corner, and then to save the thing.
அந்த சீன் பார்த்தோம்னா தான் பைசிக்கிள் கிக் எவ்வளவு ஈஸின்னு நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் புரிஞ்சிச்சு.
And do you see him doing all the tricks and all? Fun fact, the around the world, all that he cannot do one. It's the body double that came into it. I watched the interview. It was the body double. He's a UK freestyle champion. They hired him to be the body double. If I think VJ can do around the world and like
என்ன கூப்பிட்டுருக்கணும் நான் செஞ்சிருக்கேன்.
ஆமா செஞ்சிருப்பேன் அதோட உன்னை ambulance தான்
Bharat என்ன சொல்லுறாங்க?
இல்ல அவன் சொல்றான் அவன் செஞ்சிருந்தா இல்ல ஏதோ
Go.
Hello.
Okay, Stacy, football. We will start from favorite team.
Liverpool.
So some context, Jawar is actually a Man U fan.
GGM.
And Jawar is seriously outnumbered here.
Yes. And நேயர்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு context, okay? So நான் உங்களுக்கு மெசேஜ் பண்ணியிருந்தேன், you know, asking scheduling நம்ம பத்தி பேசிட்டு இருந்தேன். நீங்க சொன்னீங்க you're not an average football fan.
You know why? It really bothers me. Okay, I'm going to get into some trouble for saying this, but how can you call yourself a football fan if you like don't understand the rules? You don't know why people play a certain way. I'm not naming any genders or names or nothing here, okay? But it's just a peeve of mine where you cannot truly call yourself a fan of even the club or the game if you don't understand the game.
அந்த வெறித்தனம் வெளிய வராது பாக்கும்போது.
புரியல.
We play FIFA lah.
Okay, now that's one thing I don't play. I can't play FIFA for nuts.
We play FIFA. That's like use that to communicate lah. Just okay. So we have a friend where he didn't know that, you know, if you cross the line from your own half, it's not an offside.
Yeah lah. I mean,
he didn't know that.
What do you mean cross the line?
No, as in like if you're gonna counter attack.
Yeah.
And if all the players are in your half and within your half, if you're in front of their last defender, it's still considered onside.
Yeah.
We had a friend who didn't know that.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, can you insert the cricket noise there?
கேட்டு வைக்கிறாங்க.
அத போஸ்ட்ல தான் பண்ணோம்.
Yeah, do it post. Thank you.
இப்ப தெரியுதா நேயர்களே பாரஃபோட இந்த சவுண்ட் இந்த டைமிங் எல்லாம் ஷிட் அவனுக்கு இதெல்லாம் வரது இல்ல.
டேய் இல்லடா cricket noise இல்லடா
இருந்தா மட்டும் கிழிச்சிருவேன்
வச்சிருவேன்.
I think another friend didn't know that like you cannot be offside for a throw in also. Yeah.
So some context here நேயர்களே Stacy ஓட கண்ணு அப்படியே
it just almost fell out.
So we took
this is what I mean lah. You don't need to be like, you don't need to have the handbook in your head. But you must know certain things, right? If not, அவன் whistle ஓடிக்கிட்டே இருப்பான், you'll be like, oh, what happened? Then how are you gonna it's just a personal thing. Maybe there are people like that, but I really personally cannot stand it. That's all.
So favorite team is Liverpool.
Liverpool is my favorite team. I have a Liverpool tattoo.
Nice.
Yeah. It's on my ankle. I got it when I was 18. It's the first tattoo that I ever got.
You will never walk alone.
I do a lot of legal things only. The moment legal, I went to the shop and asked him to put the bird on my leg.
With Liverpool lah.
Yeah. With LFC 8 because Gerrard's my all-time
Gerrard.
player.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rangers still undefeated in the SPL.
I know.
They're good.
Transformed the team.
Yeah, it's good. And you know, I was just looking at the Scottish Premier League table yesterday. So far, until this point in the season, right, Rangers have only conceded 7 goals.
And they went like he broke a lot of records. I think it was like the top half of the table or something. There was a lot of records he broke. Until to this point right now, I'm not keeping count already. Because he really kept like shattering. He really changed the team.
You know, it reminds me of a moment. We were fortunate enough lah. We went to Scotland. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And we got to watch a Rangers game. Europa League. Rangers versus Porto.
Rangers Porto.
And we saw
Like recently, is it? Oh, wow.
we saw Gerrard.
The funny thing is, this happened just
Oh.
before COVID shit hit the wall.
Yeah, this I was thinking. When would you all like? Wow.
We actually went to Anfield first.
Yeah, we went to Anfield. Then
So fun fact, I've never been to Anfield. I was
after
supposed
COVID,
to go last
after
year.
COVID, very nice.
I was supposed to go last year, and then COVID came, and it just ruined my life.
They all watched the Champions League match.
Which one?
Shit, what was
Some-
the game?
Some gang.
Liverpool versus Genk.
Champions League.
Okay.
The 2-0 one, the one Wijnaldum scored.
That was like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
2019 end.
Yeah.
So we went in late and about I think mid-November. We went in mid-November time.
Oh, it would have been
Then-
cold.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
Then we came back 1 month later, COVID.
Wow,
Yeah,
lucky lah, y'all.
Very lucky.
No,
இல்ல அதுக்காகவே நம்ம actually plan பண்ணோம். ஸ்காட்லாண்ட்ல இருந்து we actually took a trip down to
Yeah.
Anfield to Liverpool.
Right.
We made
Just
sure
to watch a game lah.
Just to make
It
sure.
was actually out of the way for us. We took like a 4-hour
Drive.
Train, is it? Or drove?
Yeah.
We drove.
Right, right.
You're
right.
welcome, da.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, we had a few menu fans, so அவங்க வந்து sulking up lah. But
Hey, hello. I went to Old Trafford when you all went.
But Old Trafford, I've heard, is the most beautiful stadium. So well done and so well constructed. Look, I have nothing against United, lah. Okay, I'm not one of those irritating fans who like just trash talk all day. I'm not like that. I respect United very much. Just recently they've been shit, but I mean, football is a cycle. I always believe that. It's like a cycle. Like when we were shit, now we're not. We'll be shit a while, then we won't be. It's a cyclical thing. I mean, everybody has their.
that Liverpool menu rivalry is top notch.
It is. But there are a lot of people who don't know how to respect the rivalry for what it is, and then draw the line there. A lot of people lose it and bring it somewhere else altogether and forget respect. And I don't really like that.
So Stacy, as a closing segment,
Okay.
it's time for வடகதைகள்.
I'm not done
So
with it.
funny. Oh my god, this is the best. This is the funniest, most fun interview I've ever had. I've had a few
thank you.
interviews. This is damn fun.
நான் இருக்கிற இடம்லாம் என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் எங்க பாட்டி சொல்லுவாங்க.
And I have no comment on that.
Yes, please don't.
Oh yeah, Liverpool fan right now. Jurgen Klopp.
Actually,
Jurgen is the best manager in the whole wide world.
Yes.
I actually have like, I don't know whether you can see like everything
I
on
can
that
see that,
shelf
yeah.
at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Everything on that.
Cycle gapல அவன் ரூமே காட்டுறான்.
Adan.
ஜன்மம்.
Thanks.
Hope there's no juts lying around.
So basically, வடகதைகள். Okay, so now what we're going to do now, we're going to go into the வடகதைகள் segment. So basically, a fun thing or a happy thing that happened to you this week. So
Okay,
so let's
one
start with
thing,
you, Stacy.
Wait.
Yeah, just one thing.
ஒரு நிமிஷம் ஸ்டேசி, இந்த வாரம் நான் வந்து இதை சொல்லி ஆகணும். வடகதைகள் ஆரம்பிச்சதுன்னு இந்த பரதேசி is never starting first.
Why? So you want to like gauge, is it?
No.
And then tell the
அவன்
best one.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதே இல்ல. எல்லா கேள்வியும் நம்மட்டே விடுறான். No, இந்த வாரம் நீங்க கெஸ்டா இருந்தா
No. Guess first. Guess first. Well, Stacy என்னமோ சொல்ல
I asked
வந்தாங்க.
Bharat to start first.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes,
Guess
then you automatically override Bharat.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm the boss. Just do it, Bharat. Just do it.
எங்க பாட்டி கூப்பிடுறாங்க. So basically
கதை இல்லையா?
மச்சான் சந்தோஷமா எதுவும் நடக்கலடா.
Okay, now host out, right? So Bharat, why don't you tell us
Okay.
something that happened very well this week for you?
So basically இந்த வாரம் வந்து I went to help a very good friend
Okay.
over the weekends. He's ரொம்ப
That's it.
அந்த ஃப்ரெண்டே நான் தான்.
Context சொல்லு.
Yeah. Elaboration.
இவருக்கு வந்து he's going to get married soon.
Oh, congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what we were doing is we were doing some video shoot and all that lah.
Okay.
So he what என்னாச்சுன்னா he called me down. He கேட்டாரு, just come and help out with the video set, like video cameraman. I was like, okay, let's do it. So that was something fun and entertaining for me.
That's wonderful. And then now, for the rest of his life, when he looks at that video, he'll think of you.
ஐயோ, யோசிக்க மாட்டானே.
இதுக்கு முன்னாடி அந்த மாதிரி யோசிக்கல.
டேய், அப்பனா இது ஆட் பண்ணிக்க. யுவா அந்த ஃபிட்னஸ் கார்னர்ல ஒரு கூத்து பண்ணானே, அதே ஆட் பண்ணிக்க.
So basically what happened, right, that we were filming near like you know those neighborhoods, they have the senior citizen fitness corners.
Yeah.
when he was not filming, he was playing on the equipment.
அந்த வீடியோ
The equipment damn fun, eh?
In the fitness, like I need it in my life because I've got nothing but fatness, so I need to be fit, to at least fit into the shirt that I'm buying.
இல்ல, எத்தனை மாசமா சைன் அப் பண்ணி போல.
Macha. Yeah, so basically yeah, to me it's like I'm glad he actually asked.
Yeah,
என்ன கேட்டது வந்து for me I'm glad he asked. ஏன்னா at least I'm part of that journey, you know,
exactly.
that he thought of me to be part of that journey. So அதுக்காக I'm
Forever.
grateful
Of the
and
journey forever.
thankful. And
You want to redo the shoot or what?
Yeah lah. I think I want to delete all the footage already now.
why? Because it reminds me of you, is it?
Reminds me of you. It reminds you of me, da.
சரி what talking you?
Yeah. So this is my vadakadai. I mean, on a very serious note, I'm thankful and grateful that actually you know asked, like, thought of me, that I could help out.
இந்த தருணத்துல வீடியோ எல்லாம் அவனோட, போட்டோ ஷூட் அவனோட, ஆனா கேமரா மட்டும் என்னோட.
Yes.
So what I'll do, since I started off, right?
Yeah.
Stacy, we'll come to you last.
All right.
Go one round.
I was just going to say that actually.
See, the telepathy.
Sorry,
Yes, and Liverpool fan telepathy. But Jawar, please, since you want to photo angran my man. I mean, irundha, but still.
ஓகே, இந்த வாரம் ஒரு நல்ல விஷயம்னா எனக்கு ஒரு ரெண்டு நடந்துச்சு. ஓகே, ஒன்னு வந்து என்னோட ப்ராஜெக்ட் நல்லபடியா ஹேண்ட் ஓவர் பண்ணிட்டேன், இன்ஜினியரிங் ப்ராஜெக்ட். ஸோ ஐ எம் வெரி கிளாட் தட் இன்ஸ்பெக்ஷன் எல்லாம் பாஸ் பண்ணி போயிடுச்சு. ஸோ தொலைஞ்சிச்சு ஒரு பக்கம். இன்னொன்று என்னன்னா, இன்னைக்கு ஒரு நல்ல செய்தி, நான் காதுக்கு அப்படியே இனிமையாக குளிர் தேன்
சொல்லி தொலைடா.
யுவா ஆஸ்க் மீ டு
சொல்லிட்டானா?
யுவா வந்து அவன் கல்யாணத்துக்கு எனக்கு ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் செக்மெண்ட் கொடுத்திருக்கா பேசுறதுக்கு.
Oh, sweet.
Jawar,
Awesome.
நான் ஹெல்ப் பண்றேன்.
Don't worry, I engage Sugan, Farid,
Everybody.
ஒரு குரூப்பா ஒரு நல்ல ஸ்கிட் ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம்.
Oh, that's really nice.
Thanks da Yuva.
I feel like the host now. I love it.
I am very honored and appreciate of this situation.
Confirm ஆனத வாங்கிடுவேன், எனக்கு தெரியும்.
உனக்கு வீடியோ அசெட்ஸ் ஏதாச்சும் வேணும்னா சொல்லு, நான் சப்ளை பண்றேன்.
By the way, how do you all know each other? This seems to be like a very long friendship. Okay, I think I asked the wrong
சிரிக்கிறீங்க.
இல்ல, நம்ம ஏன் தெரியுமா யூசுவலி இந்த கேள்வி கேட்டா நம்ம எல்லாரும் ஒரு ஆன்சர் வந்து எப்போதும் பொதுவா சொல்லுவோம். எல்லாரும் தெரிஞ்சது வந்து நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில மிக சோகமான ஒரு செய்தி, சோகமான ஒரு விஷயம்.
NS.
It's a tragedy. No, meeting each other is a
Meeting each other is a tragedy.
Oh my god, no way.
No, it's just
Okay, so the context is, so you know, there's another host called Sharif Northar irka.
Yeah, he's supposed
And so he's a reservist today lah. So
Okay.
Jawhar and him know each other, and Barif and I know each other,
Okay.
and then Sharif and I know each other through poly.
Okay.
So we happened to play like football a few times, and then we needed people, and then Sharif called Jawhar, and
Yeah.
Barif was calling me, so I brought Sharif and all that. So we ended up playing football together every week, and we became friends over time lah. They ended up playing FIFA. They ended up talking like every day through FIFA, and we just became friends after that lah.
That's lovely. Okay.
We
Basically, football united us lah.
Yeah. Well, unites a lot of people.
அதோட 6-7 years ஓடிடுச்சு.
Yeah.
It
Six.
is.
Yes.
Gonna be 2015, right? We met.
Yeah, 2015.
Yala.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I know you all for 6 years. I know Sharif for going to be 10 years already.
What a tragedy, machan.
அதான் தெரியும். அதான் தாடியெல்லாம் வாழ்ந்துட்டு தேவதாஸ் மாதிரி.
That's nice, guys. Keep this going. Okay,
We
anyway,
try to.
it's Yuva's turn. I'm the host now.
I like how the guest takes over. That's the kind of segment இருக்கு.
So, for me, mine is a little bit weird. Like, it might sound very small, but to me, it's very big. So, for me, I've
Okay.
been having issues with my sleep cycle recently.
Okay.
Like, cause of the weather, right? At the turn of the year, right? ரொம்ப மாறிக்கிட்டே இருந்துச்சு. It was
Oh,
like cold,
God,
hot, cold, hot. And man, if you can hear me, I have sinus issues
Mm-hmm.
that gets triggered very badly when the weather changes.
Okay.
So as a result of that, right, I couldn't feel awake with even 8 or 9 hours of sleep. I woke up with a headache and I felt sore everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the flu feeling.
Yeah, when I wake up, I just don't feel awake lah. So it was just horrible. So now I'm trying to function. I'm able to function to a degree of efficiency with 6 hours of sleep. to me it's a big milestone because I got a lot of shit to do now.
Yeah.
So and that buys me an extra 2-3 hours a day. So it's something that I am very happy about, that I can function with less sleep because there's so much stuff that needs to be done.
Yes.
So that's my vadakadai. Just grateful and happy to be able to function well.
Look, it's the little things.
Yeah, it's a very old person vadakadai, but தூக்கம் பத்துது.
Actually, no. It's a real adult problem. It's a real.
It's an
It's a
adult
real
thing.
adult problem, to be honest.
Like even Liverpool games at 11, 12 o'clock,
Yeah,
I cannot stay
Oh no,
awake.
I'm out. And I have
Yeah.
no issue admitting that.
Yeah.
It's not like நீ 4 மணிக்கு வந்து game பார்த்தாதான் you're a fan. No.
No.
People have work and lives.
Yeah.
So I'll just
That-
watch the next day, watch whatever.
Yeah.
It's not 4 மணிக்கு alarm வச்சாலும் I cannot get up.
Yeah.
And you know, I realized this when Liverpool Barcelona. The one.
Oh,
where
bro, that one you missed out,
I
ja.
missed out. Really, I missed out. But I
Which one
couldn't
was
wake up.
this? Oh, yeah, you really missed out.
He
The
missed out that one.
I
The bounce
couldn't
back
wake
game,
up.
right?
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
wake up. And I was
That's
like,
the one game
hell of a
after a
game.
long
I
time
shouldn't
I
have
forced
missed,
myself
yeah.
to watch.
I couldn't. I was like,
நான் வந்து
yeah.
இப்ப
So,
சொக்கர் என்னைய பக்கத்துல 4 மணிக்கு மேட்ச் எந்திரிச்சிருவேன். டிவி பக்கத்துல தான் இருக்கும், ஓடும், ஆனா நான் தூங்குவேன்.
so coming to the final vadakadai, and
Our
the most
guest.
expected vadakadai, Stacy's vadakadai.
Okay, so since you're asking about the week, I'll tell you things. Firstly, I received a DM on Instagram from this girl
Mhm.
who told me that she has been suicidal recently, and that I somehow the things I post, even if it's the comedy things on my private Instagram, really perks her up. And I have no idea who this girl is. We don't have a relationship or whatever. But she said that, and I'm just thinking like, wow, really? And I thought I had a bad week, and I've been posting a lot of cryptic shit. But she said that, and she said, reading your stuff gives me a lot of motivation. Then she said she shared with me that her loved one passed away recently. She shared with me that she has been body shamed, and people keep asking her why she's not pregnant. All these things, one after the other, contributed to that, and I felt really good that. And she said, iOS really helped her when other people share their stories and all. That aside, me on a personal level has also somehow managed to make her smile. And that really made me smile, because I get a lot of hate from a lot of people regularly. So to get messages like this is very, very valuable. And the other vadakadai, is it?
Yeah,
like vade, right?
Yes.
Vada.
Okay.
Vadakadai.
Is that I am handling work very well. I am so proud of myself. Because I got no training, I got no education for this, right? So I really thought I'd be drowning and dying. But I am not. So I'm very happy and very proud of myself.
Oh, okay. Sound effect மாறிடுச்சு.
Yeah, this is my week in a nutshell.
That's good. So yeah, high five to the functioning well thing.
Yes. God.
Of course, I had to put that in. So, guys, we have come to the end of our show.
Oh, this was so fun. Can I come back next week?
Macha, Sharif, மறுபடியும் கூப்பிடணுமா?
If you see our next
call.
our other host, you might consider வரவா வேணும்.
Okay, I'll just pretend to be another person.
So, நேயர்களே,
Let's arrange a sequel.
Yes.
I would love
Definitely.
that. This is so fun. Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking not the usual mundane and boring questions. Thank you for kind of amalgamating all of these different things about me and then just asking all the right things. Thank you for that, guys. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for the feedback also.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. And நேயர்களே, இந்த எபிசோட கேட்டு, hope you all liked it. I'm pretty sure you all will like it, because this was honestly one of probably the most interesting stories I've came across. Honestly.
Thank
Over
you.
37 episodes. 37, huh?
So many are you all
37, yeah.
37, yeah. Yeah. So it was probably one of the most interesting. It's probably one of the top interesting stories that we've
I'm
we've
glad.
had.
I'm glad.
And நேயர்கள் இதை என்ஜாய் பண்ணியிருப்பீங்கன்னு நம்புறோம். And yeah, hope you all have a good upcoming week, and see you all next week. Thank you for coming on again, Stacy.
Thank you very much, guys.
இத்துடன்
Thank you.
விடை பெற்றுக் கொள்வது உங்கள் பாரவ்.
டேய், அது நீடா, அது ஜவர்டா.
அதான் நீ சொல்றதுக்குள்ள நான் சொல்லிட்டேன். ஏன் பண்ணிரு.
வணக்கம்.
என்னோட மவுத் பீஸ் கொய்யால.
பட போச்சே.